Hi you guys. So I just pulled over because I was going to start filming and talking, and I realized there's like a lot of dust on the lens, and so I pulled over to clean it off. Maybe you didn't really need to know that, but it just reminded me of this time a few months ago. I think it was pre-quarantine. I was trying to film a cooking video, like kind of as practice, because I still don't feel super confident when I'm making cooking videos. I like making them, so I'll continue doing them and practicing, but it was one of the first ones, and it was, I think, only like 2 minutes long or something. I was making polenta and frying it in a pan, and I was taking my vlogging camera like over the pan and filming, and the oil started splattering, and it splattered into the camera lens, and I freaked out because I thought my camera was ruined, or I thought I was gonna have to buy a new something. I don't know, my camera is a Canon G7X, and it's just like a point and shoot, and I don't really know how the lens works. Like, obviously if you have a removable lens type camera, you would just need to replace the lens, but for something like this, it's all like one thing, so I don't even know if that would be possible. But anyway, basically my life as a YouTuber flashed before my eyes. I was like, well, that's it, I can't afford a new camera right now, which is silly because I could have just, if something happened to my camera, I could have just downgraded to my phone, and that probably would have been okay. But I was like, I guess we're done, I can't get a new camera, my vlogging time is over. It was fun while it lasted. I'm never going to get anywhere on my channel. Time to just quit because my camera is broken. Anyway, I called a local camera shop, and they told me not to panic, and I could just get some, they have like some cleanser. I mean, because you have oil on your hands, right? So a lot of regular lens cleaner is meant to remove oil, so they just sold me like a little spray cleaner thing and like a microfiber cloth, and the thing, it's fine. Anyway, today is Friday, and I have a couple of hours before my next client. I just had my dog walking client. I only have like 2 clients Monday through Friday this week. That's usually typical. Like, it's been really slow. I know I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, I think it was the Postmates, the last Postmates one I did, Vlogmas Day 1. Like, I mentioned that I had another project that I wanted to work on that was pet related, and I want to tell you, I really do, but I think I should wait, because the thing that's like holding me back right now is being financially prepared to move forward and take the classes that I need to take. And it's not a big financial commitment, which is good. Like, I think it won't take very long. It'll probably take a few weeks before I can get the ball rolling, maybe even a couple of weeks. Like, I would like to get the ball rolling on that as soon as possible, so I will tell you once I get started. So yeah, the reason I just bring that up is because even though business is really slow right now with pet sitting and dog walking, like, I think that coming up with a way to do virtual services will be really fun and helpful financially. And I don't know, like, even if things went back to normal tomorrow, even if I could fully go back to work, like, I like working from home. That is what I want. I like going out and doing dog walking and stuff too, but I would rather have, I would rather be out in the field, like, as a smaller percentage of my time, and I would rather be able to spend a decent chunk of my time working from home. So I feel like this isn't just like a COVID game plan, this is like a game plan that will help me in the long run. Anyway, I have some time, like I said, between now and my next client, so I figured I would just drive and chat and do a little life update. I also just got a text from my mom so I was over there in their garage looking at their Christmas decorations, because I mentioned that I wanted to decorate for Christmas, right? And I'll have a video about the decorations that I got. I went to Home Goods, I went to Target, also went to Dollar Tree, and I think I'm gonna go there again today, because I really liked those. If you watched my Halloween decorating video, I got these little boxy kind of signs. I mean, they were only $1, and I got 2 of them, and I really liked them. And I went back specifically a couple weeks ago looking for Christmas versions of the same signs, but they didn't have them. But then I saw in someone else's video that they do have them, they just didn't have them that day. So I'm gonna go back and look for those. I feel like that was a really like strategic conversation about Dollar Tree. Like, I'm like plotting and scheming to get these signs. But anyway, I'm gonna go to Dollar Tree and look for those, and maybe get a couple of like grocery things. I don't know, I need like basics like oatmeal, pasta, stuff like that, and I think they have those at Dollar Tree. And then I think I'm gonna also stop by my parents to get some decorations that I missed when I was looking over there the other day, because the other day when I was there, it was like, I knew they had a decent amount of Christmas decorations, but I think most of what I remember, what am I trying to say? Like, I remember them having a decent amount of decorations, but what I didn't really consider is that a lot of them were Christmas ornaments. And I don't have a tree. I kind of wanted to get a Christmas tree this year, like an artificial tree that I could just use every year, but I didn't get one. Part of the reason is because I have cats, and Herschel is definitely the type of cat who would take down a Christmas tree. But another reason is like there's not really a good place in my living room to put a tree. But now, you might have heard me talk before about I live in a 2-bedroom, and right now the 2nd bedroom is Herschel's because Panson and Herschel don't get along. So when I'm not home, or like when we're sleeping, Herschel has his own room, which is like ridiculous because I've had moments where I like wanted to get a roommate, but I'm really paying double rent for my cat to have his own room. Some of you guys might not have really seen Herschel before. I posted him on Instagram. I don't know if he's probably been in videos, but not very much, because when he's out with us, when he and Panson are together, like I'm focused on what they're doing rather than filming. But we're making some progress, and so he will probably be making appearances in future videos, because I do want to kind of document the process of like socializing them together and helping our little family get along. Oh, but what I was getting at is that I would like to turn that room into some kind of office, or possibly like a filming area. I think it would probably be like a combo room. It has my piano in there right now. I would probably like to put like a one of those fold out couch thingies so it could function as a guest room when we're allowed to have guests again, and then maybe put some kind of a desk or something in there. I don't know, but the reason that I brought that up is that I was thinking that by this time next year, hopefully Panson and Herschel are good and I can start moving forward on this, and I think that is where my Christmas tree would go. Because that way, if Herschel decides that he does want to attack this tree, then I can just shut the door when I'm not home and he will leave it alone. Oh gosh, the ornaments too. Even if he doesn't want to take down the tree, he would 100% take ornaments and steal them. Anyway, my mom texted me. She was like, did you see these when you were at our house looking at decorations? And she sent me a picture of some troll dolls dressed like Santa Claus. And I think these were from like probably the mid-90s. I don't know, early 90s maybe. I definitely remember them. I remember I had the big one first, and I really liked the big one. Like I really, and my mom said that my grandma liked troll dolls, and which I remember, and I remember her giving me troll dolls. And yeah, I remember I really liked the big one. And then probably it was like the next year or a couple years later, I was given the small one. And I remember thinking like, why do I want the small one when I already have the big one? Like, to my child brain, and even now I still kind of feel this way, like the small one was just like a knockoff of the big one. So I don't know, I'll go get them and I will show them to you, and you can let me know which one you like better. So I think that's about it. And then I have to, I might do a little bit of Postmates deliveries. I might do a couple, not for very long, maybe half an hour or an hour, and then go see that client. And then on the way home I have to go by to pick up Panson's medication. And I wanted to talk to you about Panson because I know some of you guys are like obsessed with him. And I don't blame you, I'm obsessed with him too. So I guess I'm gonna start driving and we'll talk. Okay, so the thing with Panson, and I've talked about this before, I'm not going to go too into detail, but he had a dental surgery in like August, and he's been getting this like recurring, like, to me it seems minor, like a minor infection in his gums. And he's been on, I think it's 3 rounds of antibiotics now. The first round was the wrong antibiotic, and then she did a culture and found the right one. And so he's been on 2 rounds of Baytril, not back to back. Like, I think they were probably at least a couple weeks apart. And then a few days ago, I started noticing it looked like there was a little bit of like discharge. So I watched it for like a day or so just to make sure that's actually what it was, and that he didn't have like some food stuck in his gums or something. And I emailed the vet, and she is like, she's in between. She just moved from the hospital she was at, and she's starting her own practice, which is really exciting. She basically wrote a prescription for another refill of Baytril, and then she wants to see him like after he finishes the prescription. And so what I started thinking now, and I think it sounds like this is what she thinks too, is originally I thought, you know, he had this infection and then the antibiotic wasn't fully clearing it up. So, you know, there was a little bit of infection left and then it was coming back. But I think what's actually happening, and I asked her and she said that she thinks it's getting just reinfected, because cat mouths are like notoriously filthy. They're full of bacteria, which is why if you ever get bit by a cat, you should just treat it as if it will get infected. You should go to the doctor and get antibiotics. There was one time, like, okay, so I've been working with animals for like over a decade now. I mean, I think I started my first vet job when I was like 19, I think, and I'm 34 now, so do the math. I worked with animals for a long time. I've had animals growing up, and I've been pretty lucky, I think, with not getting bit by dogs or cats. Like, I've gotten some minor little bites, but nothing, not a big deal. Like, nothing that I really, one time actually when I was a little kid, and you would think I would be afraid of animals, but I got bit by a dog when I was like 5, and that was like one of the first dogs that I met. But it didn't instill a dog fear in me. But anyway, I've been pretty lucky with no bites, no serious injuries. The only time that I have been badly bit by an animal was by panson. And what happened was, it wasn't too long after we got Bruce, it was probably within the first year, and we put up a baby gate in between it was in my old apartment, we put up a baby gate in between the area where the bedrooms were and then like the living room and the kitchen. So basically panson had the option, like if he wanted to be out in the living room and the kitchen, that's where Bruce was going to be. So if he felt like hanging out with the dog, he could. And if he felt like being by himself in a safe space, then he could hop over the gate and go into the bedroom. So, but also Bruce was being crate trained, so when we weren't home, like Bruce was in the crate, and then panson had a free run of the whole apartment. So anyway, one time he hopped over the fence, the baby gate, and I was sitting right there. Thankfully, I saw it as soon as it happened, and his back leg got caught in the bars. So it's like as he was going over, his leg got caught in the bars, and he was kind of like hanging. And so right away, I like hopped up and I put my arm, like grabbed him like this around his torso. Instinctively, that seemed like the best thing to do, because, you know, there was weight. He was hanging on his leg, and I wanted to take the weight off of his leg because it seemed like that would hurt. That would be a problem. And as soon as I grabbed him, he chomped me. He was like so panicked that right away he just bit. So he bit like my fingers, and I mean, I don't blame him, and I can laugh about it now. It's kind of funny to me because he's not the type of cat who would be aggressive. You know, some cats are just very feisty, and that's their personality, and that's not how he is. I mean, he's feisty, but he's not really a biter or a scratcher. Like even with Bruce, if Bruce is being annoying, sometimes he'll give him one of these little whacks, but it's usually like no claws. It doesn't hurt. It's just like kind of a warning, like, hey, back up. Anyway, that's the story of how panson sent me to urgent care. This is also how I found out that cat bites pretty much always get infected. I didn't know that. I just kind of cleaned it up, probably with peroxide, and I don't know, did my best, and went to bed that night, and the next morning my fingers were like sausages, and like I couldn't like even move the joint, like it was bad. And also, in case you were wondering, panson was okay. I checked him out that night and he seemed okay. Didn't seem like anything was broken or anything, but the next morning he was limping a little bit, so we did take him into the vet, and they checked him out and basically said it's probably a little bit bruised and you should take it easy. And a few days later he was back to normal, which is why I would recommend, if you do have that system, which I think is a good system of having a baby gate so your cat has their own space, get one of the ones, they have one specifically for pets that have like a little door. It doesn't work if you have a cat and a dog who are the same size, which I do, but because Bruce was kind of trained on the old baby gate, he still respected the new one, even though he knew he could fit through the little door. It worked for a while, actually. I think for probably a year and a half after I got that gate, he never went through it. He would even sometimes, like if I was in the bedroom doing something, he wanted to see what I was doing, he'd peek his head through the little hole and look around the corner, but he wouldn't actually go through it. And then I don't know what happened, but one day he just decided he could go through the gate, and he was going to. So it doesn't work anymore. So if you've seen like in videos or my Instagram stories, that gate is there and it's always open, and I should probably just take it down because we don't use it anymore. Anyway, that was a very long-winded way of saying that cat mouths are dirty, and it seems like what's happening with Penson's mouth is that, well, the other thing is that older cats, and I think Panson is probably 17 or 18 at least, older cats and animals and people just take longer to heal. So I think it's just that his mouth is taking longer to heal, and so I think that basically his mouth is just taking its sweet time to heal, and being open is just allowing it to get infected over and over again because he has bacteria in his mouth. I had to pull over and change my battery, but we're gonna get going again. And the weird thing is, like, it seems like I hate it when this happens. It's like as soon as you contact the vet or as soon as you make the appointment, like the thing starts getting better. It seems like his mouth, it looks better to me within the last like 24 hours. And I think I probably talked to the vet maybe 48 hours ago, and she wrote the prescription yesterday, so I'm going to pick it up today. And it looks really good to me. It doesn't look infected. Like if I looked at it how it's looked in the past 24 hours, I probably wouldn't have called. And I thought about asking her, like, do we still need to do the antibiotics? But I think it's probably going to be a good thing to just do it. And it seems like we're at the tail end of like the healing process. So hopefully, you know, we do antibiotics for a couple of weeks, and then maybe by the time we're done, it'll be healed, and then we don't have to worry about it when we're out of the woods. Hey Siri, text mom.
What do you want to say?
Should I come pick up the troll doll?
Your message to mom says, should I come pick up the troll doll? Ready to send it?
Yeah. So I think that's about it on the Panson front. The other thing that I wanted to talk about today is it's also pet related. Oh, now we got weird lighting. Should I just turn around and drive the other direction? Okay, I think this is an okay place to park. The lighting's a little weird. I'm like right now, I don't know, how am I gonna show you? I'm next to like this brick building, and I feel like it's creating like a nice red glow on my face. Anyway, I realized I could probably just pull over and park somewhere and talk because I don't need to be anywhere right now. I'm like in the parking lot next to the movie theater, which is like pretty empty because the movie theater is closed. And I forgot this part. I've been to this movie theater a lot, and when I was younger, like I grew up in this neighborhood. One of my first jobs was like at a little coffee and fudge shop, like right in front of the movie theater. And I forgot this parking lot was even here. It's like to the side and like behind. And like I remember this is where like I think my dad and like my grandparents would park, because they're the kind of people that would like park way far away because they don't want anyone to mess with their car. Anyway, so that's where I am. The other thing that I wanted to talk about today is like what I want to do with my channel in 2021. I know I've kind of talked about this before, that I might want to do a daily vlogging challenge for a whole year. And I'm kind of leaning toward, yes, I might be doing that. I probably won't decide officially for a couple more weeks. I actually might not decide officially until like New Year's Day. But this is my second year doing Vlogmas and Vlogtober. I did both of those last year too. And to me, like the first year doing both of them was really just a learning experience, and like trying to figure out like how to make videos and what kind of videos I like to make, and getting more comfortable filming and getting faster and better at editing. I don't know if I would say better, but I got faster at editing, and also just figuring out kind of like how YouTube works as a platform. So I think I got that down the first year. Those videos didn't get a lot of views, which I'm not mad about because they were not good. They're a little bit embarrassing, like going back and looking at my first videos. Like, don't do this, but like I went back and sorted my videos by like most views to least views, and like scrolled all the way down to the bottom, and a lot of the least views are from last year's Vlogmas and Vlogtober. But that's okay. This year went a lot better, both as far as like me making videos being like less stressful and being like going more smoothly, and also a lot of the videos that I made got more views. At least I can speak for Vlogtober. I don't know about Vlogmas yet. There's still time to crash and burn. But I think the fact that this year's Vlogtober and Vlogmas went a lot better and seemed a lot more, what am I trying to say? Like they came more naturally, I guess. Like it wasn't like I was sitting there trying to think of video topics and like not knowing how to fill in 31 days of Vlogtober. If anything, I had like extra videos that didn't get made, so I feel like doing daily vlogging for a year would be doable. I also feel like at some point I'm going to want to slow down a little bit and make videos that require a little bit more work and research, and probably improve my editing and filming and stuff like that. And so to me it kind of makes sense that if I'm going to do daily vlogging, like it now would. And so to me it kind of seems like if I'm going to do daily vlogging, like now would be the good time to do it while I'm like still at the beginner plus level. Because I don't know if like doing it the other way around would really make sense. I literally came to like the emptiest part of the parking lot I could find, and there's someone in here walking laps. I think they're just walking for exercise, which like good for them, but like I thought I was gonna get some privacy over here. Anyway, another thing that I've been thinking about is the vegan pet sitter channel that I set up back in like May, and I put up those 5 videos, and my plan was that I was going to come back to it, and I never did. And so I think what I'm going to do is merge some of the content ideas that I had with the vegan pet sitter channel and just put it on this channel. And I say that for a couple of reasons. I mean, one of the reasons that I abandoned the vegan pet sitter channel in the first place was because that I was trying to kind of invest more of my time and effort into this channel and kind of build up an audience and hopefully get my channel monetized, which should happen pretty soon. And so at the time it made sense to me to just get this channel set up before I go back to the other channel, because if I tried to divide my attention, then both of them would grow more slowly. But I also kind of thought that like I needed to keep them separate because that's my business and this is like personal. But to be honest with you, as a business owner for the last like 9 years, one of the things that I have not liked about being a business owner is like keeping, how do I want to say this? Like feeling like my business self and my real self are like 2 different people. I feel like saying it like that makes it sound like I'm like living a secret life or something, but like, I don't know. I feel like at some point maybe I could go deeper on this and like explain it better, but I just feel like there's this tendency for people to see others as their job when they're working and not as like a whole person. And when your job takes up like a lot of your life, which running a business, like any kind of business does, it's kind of like people just see you as your business and stop seeing you as yourself. Yeah, we'll stick with that. I feel like that's a good way of explaining it. So I feel like that kind of icky feeling that I've had about that for the past 9 years, I think that making the content that I want to make about pets and just putting it on this channel, I think it will help me feel better about that. Not only that, but like a lot of the content I want to make, and this is true of the vegan related content and theme park related content, like I want it to be like kind of a lifestyle channel, and like pets are a part of my lifestyle. So there are definitely times when like I've made content for this channel and I'm like, oh, does this belong over there? Or I've made content for that channel and I'm like, oh, maybe this should go on my main channel, because there's so much overlap, because pets are like such a huge part of my life. So to me it makes more sense that if I'm going to make pet related content, it should be kind of from the lifestyle angle. Like I don't see myself doing as many like tutorial, like really informative, in-depth videos about pets. I mean, I probably will at some point, but it'll be like a small percentage of the content on this channel. Like I could see myself doing, like if I have a few ideas of like really informative pet related content, maybe doing like a week-long series or something like that, and just focus on pets for that week and get that out there, and then go back to the regularly scheduled programming. The person just did another lap, and every time they walk around I just pretend I'm on my phone, which I don't know why, because she fully knows that I'm in here talking to you. Am I done? Am I done talking? Did I get everything off my chest? I feel like I did most of it. I also don't want this video to be like an hour long, but basically yes, I think it seems like daily vlogging 2021 is likely to happen, but not 100% confirmed. And it seems like pet content is going to be a part of this channel now. I mean, it has been. But basically, I think any content that I've been kind of holding back and waiting to put it out on the Vegan Pet Sitter channel or make it later, or I don't know, I'm going to stop procrastinating on that and just make it a part of this channel instead. And I think another reason that I think it makes sense to put it here is like a goal of mine. And I don't know if I've been doing a good job. I've been trying to make content where, to make the kind of content where even if you don't need, let's say for example, I make a video on how to groom your poodle at home. I would want to make it in a way that is entertaining and fun to watch, even if you don't even have a poodle. like if you're subscribed to my channel and then you see me put out a video about poodle grooming, I wouldn't want you to think like, oh, that's not for me, I'm not going to watch it. I'd want you to think like, hey, maybe that'll be fun to watch. And I'm not claiming like I'm going to be a pro at this yet, but that is a goal I'm saying. Okay, that feels like everything that I wanted to say. I'm gonna get out of this parking lot and go to Dollar Tree.